All right, we're on phase 2 with Barbie, and here she is, Little Miss Rodeo Queen horse, in for a foundation tune-up. And here we go, we are using the TQA. As a reminder, it is a nonprofit organization that is focused on working with experts in the equine and ranching industry to set industry quality standards and certifications in training and selling horses to the public, as well as working on ranches, feedlots, where horsemanship and stockmanship roping skills are required. All right, we're going to go over our Foundation for Perfection worksheet again. Feel free to pause. One of the things we are going to work on today is willing submission. So after the initial cue, the horse willingly performs a task on a loose rein and no leg pressure. It is the horse's idea. This is one of the things we do want to see when we have horses and we are training them. So we will see if we can see some willing submission during this video. This is the back side. Again, I want you to go ahead and look at these stages. We have stage 1 through 4, and the 5 stages of turning maturity we will work on as well. It is going to be our worksheet for phase 2. We have reviewing groundwork, horizontal direction, stage 1, stand to get on, doubling, walking, trotting, loping, stage 2 with willing submission. There's our willing submission. Lope in a straight line. Stage 3 with willing submission on a fence, in horizontal direction, walk, and a slow trot. And then, of course, it's all graded from -3 to a +3. Here we are reviewing our saddle work. Look at her. Boom. Right on there. I did speed it up a bit just to make it a little tiny bit easier. All right, we're going through. Standing perfectly still, looking around, checking everything out. Boom. This horse is great for an inexperienced owner, which is why she belongs to a little girl. So even if you weren't fast, she would stand still and be okay with it. You can also saddle her while tied up. And here we are, we're going with the bit now. She does get a little bit finicky. Just put your thumb right in there and boom. Look how forgiving she is with that. I usually give her lots of pets and loves right after. All right, now we're looking for that willing submission. Look at that. Do we see that loose rein in there? Look at that loose. Let her get that dopamine. That's the important part. That's why she learns what she did was right. As we're going through groundwork, gotta get her going. Boom. Get her going again. All of this is just... This girl's so good, she goes through it fast. All right, now there's going to be a few different things we'll see. All right, we're going to start doubling. Boom. So doubling is when she pulls that rein out and she's going to move her body weight, and it's a good way to make them stop from going forward. You want to disengage those hind legs because that's where a lot of their power is. So whether it's at a walk, trot, or a speed, or a lope, any sort of speed, you want to be able to double the horse. Because in the middle of everything, you want it to be a muscle memory type of situation. Let's say you're riding. You get handed a piece of paper, horse doesn't like it, starts freaking out, going sideways. What should you do? Double it. And a lot of this is the horizontal direction with stage 1 as well. So let's remember, horizontal direction, we have different signs to look for in the poll and the loin. I like to look at the back feet. And there's horizontal direction. See how she is bringing that front, the outside hind will step out and the inside hind steps in underneath the navel. That's the one I usually look for a lot. But there are 8 different signs. But there's also good ones to look for in the poll, like the break in the poll, the nose directly underneath the eye, her ears are flat, and you shouldn't see any white in the eye. So a lot of those are good for the poll. See, and then we have a stage 2 with willing submission while walking, trotting, and loping. Now she does lift her head up and root, which is part of what we are trying to tune up with her. We don't want her doing that. We want a nice, soft stop. And we're just gonna sit here, take a minute. All right, here we go. If you see other horses running around, that's because they like to just pop in other videos. And then we have our stage 3 on the fence. See how she's going sideways? That is a side pass. Although it is not perfect, when she first got here, she kind of didn't understand. So, you know what? Progress over perfection. She gets it, and she gives her a minute. Goes the other way. She got to scoot that hind in a little bit. Boom. She scoots in a little bit. This is a work in progress. Give her a little pet. It's a good girl. And we are off. She has to check out the camera first. And looks like we're going for our little trot, maybe into a lope. Boom, there we go. There's our lope. There's our horizontal direction lope. We want nice round circles. Boom. We had our stage 1 into a stage 2. These stages can be combined to also help the horse learn how to move their feet. A lot of stage 1 into stage 2, and sometimes stage 1 into stage 2 into stage 3. And now we're going to do the other side. She's kind of a lazy horse, so it takes her a little bit sometimes to get up. There we go. Look at her go. And then we're going to keep an eye on. Look at, she's giving her head because she's going the speed she wants, and then boom. We're going to watch those feet. Stage 1. There we go. Good job. All right, and now we are loping in a straight line. We tend to use the back fences for this at first because it helps the horses stay straight. Look at her go! And she's gonna go all the way around. That is a horse trailer. And boom. A nice lope. And then we have her score sheet. This is just for phase 2. As you can see, we just had issues taking the bridle, but we have made progress. So that's what's important.